And then when this podcast fails, we'll start another one.
Yeah.
And then another one.
Yeah. Yeah. Time well bent.
Time well bent.
The
Dude, we can
spin-off.
come up with them.
Let's go, baby.
And then when that starts, when we run out of those, we switch it to like time hell bent.
Time hell bent.
Actually, that might be
That's a pretty good one.
the last episode of Time Well Meant, guys. We'll see y'all
All
somewhere
right,
else.
so we'll see you next time. First episode of Time Hell Bent is gonna be in 2 weeks. Hello, welcome back to Time Well Meant, the podcast where we're asking the age-old question: if the USA is so great, why'd they go ahead and make a USB? Anyways, if you're new to the podcast. I knew that one would get you. If you're new to the podcast, we like to talk about gaming, we like to talk about the goings-ons of the internet, and of course, we like to tie all of that together with our most important topic, which is mental health. With me, as always, is my beautiful and wonderful and amazing, and I could go on, but it would take up a full hour of the podcast, but I'm not going to do that, my co-host, Kirby. How are you today?
God damn, what an intro. I was not ready for that. USB? Shit.
USB. I stole that off TikTok. Stole that right off TikTok. I don't remember the context. I just heard it and immediately wrote it down. I was like, that's really fucking good. God damn it.
Stolen.
Mine now.
Hey, at least you gave credit to whoever it was on TikTok.
To that one person that yeah. Anyways, it's just, yeah. How are you doing? Buddy? It's been 2 weeks. Every time we do this, I forget that it's been 2 weeks. And like so much happens in our lives and on the internet. Fucking, oh God. How are you doing, buddy?
Man, I'm doing fantastic, dude. Just working, living the dream, as we say.
Yeah.
How about you?
You know, I just had a birthday yesterday.
You sure did.
Oh God. I am, another year closer towards the march of death. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I haven't really been, I don't do much for my birthday. Like I slept most of the day and then I woke up and played games and then worked. And that was
nice.
That was my whole day.
I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't like to celebrate my birthday too much.
Yeah. And the thing about it is like, usually I'm like, I buy my own presents, or I just don't really, no, like the thing about it was though, this year was pretty cool. Like my mom got me, shout out to my mom. She got me some editing software.
Shout out to your mom.
Shout out to Mama Silas. She got me the editing software that we'll be using for all the video production stuff that we'll be doing. And then my girlfriend got me a really awesome present. She got me a massage. She got me a gift card to get a massage, like a really nice one too. I was like, God damn, what the fuck?
Dude, I'm jealous. That sounds wonderful. Holy shit.
It's a place in Fort Worth. I don't remember the fucking name of it, but she was like, hey, check your email. Cause I told her, I'm like, I don't really like surprises. I don't want to be, I was like, just give me whatever you're going to give me. I'm sorry. I don't want to be surprised. Like if I tell you that I want something and then you get that for me, I appreciate it. And if you're going to give me something that I don't know what it is, I'd rather know ahead of time. But she kind of blew it out of the water with this one. Cause I had been mentioning that I'd wanted to go get a massage for a long time. And it was one of those things that she just kept in the back of her mind and did it. I was like, damn, I love
thoughtful.
you.
Good girlfriend.
Good girlfriend.
Good mom.
Dude.
Good girlfriend. Good life, dude.
Good life, dude. What a life to live, man. It's crazy. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. A massage just sounds lovely.
Yeah. And have you ever had like a professional massage?
I've never had a massage in my life besides like, a friend or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a lady friend.
I've never had a professional one either. Like I've never been. I've had friends that have told me about it and they're like, it's amazing. And I'm like, okay, well maybe one of these days, but this is like, I can't wait to like make the appointment and then go do it. Cause I'm kind of
go do it and report back to us. And then if it's real good, we'll go do it together. We'll get a couples massage.
We book a couples massage. Can we hold hands together while we're getting massaged?
I wouldn't know. I've never had a massage nor a couples massage, but I would assume so. And that's what we're going to do.
I like how you're like, let's go get your first massage will one be a couples massage and two, it'll be a couples massage with me and not your wife.
She'll understand.
She'll know. She'll get it. She know. Anna's cool. She knows what's up. God. Anyways, again, going back, we do this every 2 weeks, and holy shit, how stuff happens within the 2 weeks. I mean, there's been a lot that's been going on. I kind of want to open up with I talked to you just very, very briefly before we started about this situation that's going on with this guy named Sketch. Okay.
Yep.
For those of you who don't know, Sketch is a Twitch streamer, huge Twitch streamer. Like fucking guy's got like 1 million followers or some shit on Twitch, which is insane.
Dude, you're telling me you're telling me for the first time as well as everybody listening. So
Yes. So he is most notable for playing Madden. And
cool.
he has a lot of really
Who's his
interesting
team?
Houston Texans.
Ah, fuck off.
I don't know. That's just who he likes. I know that he's a big deal within this kind of like within this scene and within just the streaming scene in general. Like you have all of these clips of people coming out that are professional sports players. His thing is like, "What's up, brother?" That's his like big shtick, and which is really funny. You'd have to see it in context for it to make a lot more sense. He's a lot better at doing it, but he has a lot of really funny and really interesting clips. He's really big in the sports scene. A lot of people will do his thing. He's linked up with guys like Jinxie and Queso, who are two other really big notable streamers right now. And he's just made a really big impact. He's made really big waves. His clips go insanely viral anytime they get posted, and it's one of those things that the guy almost seems like too big to fail right now. Like he's definitely in his prime and like at his peak. But he recently ran into some controversy. But it's not the sort of controversy that's of the norm or what we've been seeing. Like in the past couple of weeks, we've seen like in terms of like the online sphere, we've had a lot of content creators get outed. We've had people like I'm Alex, who is a content creator who got outed for being super abusive to his girlfriend and just being an overall piece of shit. You have, of course, the Dr. Disrespect stuff that happened a couple weeks ago. Don't talk to kids. We went over that already.
Don't talk to kids.
Don't talk to kids at all.
Under
ever.
any circumstance.
Never even look in their general direction. Don't speak to them. We went over that. And then, you have this situation, which has become almost it's been very enlightening, I think, for not only myself, but like people on the internet, because the situation is that 2 years ago, so this guy is 20 or 21, I think. But 2 years ago, he was doing OnlyFans, but he was doing gay OnlyFans. And so a lot of the controversy comes from the fact that he kind of hid this. He didn't, he sat on it and didn't, speak about it at all. And that's what people are like the most like upset about. But then of course you have the general homophobia and things that kind of come out with this of like, oh, well, you did gay stuff. And being in such a masculine community as like the sports community, that's kind of,
So it's like the Madden sports community. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's still like a gaming community, but it's still and again, of course,
it's based around a sports game. It'll have a little bit more male audience,
a little bit more of a male, masculine, audience, which is that's fine. But the thing about it is that there was a lot of people that when it initially dropped, and I mean when it first dropped, it was a mix of we don't believe this, and if it's true, we're not going to support him because he's gay, and that was like the main thing, which is always insane to me, right?
Why? What?
Exactly. That's kind of what I wanted to delve into today, because the aftermath is that he the next day, I mean literally within 24 hours, he made a response, came out and said, "Listen, I did this. I'm not proud of it. It's a part of my past." He was going through things. He didn't really clarify on everything that he was going through, but I guess he had some issues with addiction. And that was just an aspect of his life that he wanted to keep buried, but he knew that it was something that could come out, right? He went under a pseudonym or another name to sort of cover up who he actually was.
Lex Hard Rod or some shit.
No, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was just a name that could not be connected with him directly.
Gotcha.
But I mean, once you see his face, it's pretty clear. There's a very clear distinction. But the thing about it is like, again, you have it split the community very early on. And then later he got such overwhelming positivity and love and support from everyone around him. Like, I mean, it's crazy. It was crazy to watch the situation unfold in real time, because it started as, holy shit, this guy, fuck this guy, we're not gonna watch him. Like, there were people coming out being like, I'm not gonna let my kids or my brother, like my younger siblings, watch him anymore. Like, we don't fuck with Sketch. And then you had this like,
he did gay stuff.
Yes, and then you had this, and again, this was all completely consensual, completely legal. Like,
yeah.
And
I'm trying to find where's the actual controversy.
Exactly.
That, quote unquote, hid it.
Yes,
How do
that
you even
that
hide something like that? I assume the page is not still live, so how do people find it?
so there was a quote unquote journalist. We're gonna say quote unquote journalist because it's just some guy on fucking YouTube who wanted clout.
Right on.
I'm not gonna say his name because he's already getting a shitload of hate. He's basically deleted his whole YouTube channel because of this. But it's this guy who decided one way or the other that he found this. And again, I don't know how I found it. The fucking jokes that are happening now is like, well, listen, bud, you're the one who found it. What were you going through to find this? And so he found it, and it was something that, the thing about it is, it's one of those things that, like, nothing or everything lasts on the internet. There's nothing that you can hide.
Yeah.
If you've done something on the internet, one way or the other, it'll usually come out if it's tied to your name in some or face in some sort of fashion, right?
And if you piss off the right person who spends enough time digging.
Yes, then they will find it, right? Like there's damning evidence about just about everybody if you look hard enough, right?
Yep.
Or there's something that you can find a way to get pissed off at. This is one of those things that I was like, when I first found out about it, I was like, oh shit, he did something really awful. Because all it was, when you see shit initially on the internet, it's like, the name and then controversy. It's like, oh no, what happened? Like, because I'm not a huge fan of this guy.
Or?
Dude, we really need to sit down after this and watch some clips, man. He's fucking awesome. I don't want to. We talked in the last episode about you don't want to lift people up too high. You don't want to put people on a pedestal. But this guy, in terms of like positive role models and just really fucking entertaining people, he's way the fuck up there.
Okay.
Him and Jinxie are two people that I've followed for a little while now. I like Jinxie a lot more because he plays Rainbow, and I fuck with Rainbow more than I like Madden. Madden is just like, it's all sports ball to me. I don't really get it. The clips are really funny, and like he's really entertaining doing it, which I think is a testament to his character as an entertainer, where he can play a game that I have no interest in, but he still makes it really entertaining and cool. Yeah. But that's one of those things, man, where it's like he's amazing. I personally, I love him to death. He's a fucking great entertainer. And overall, I mean, everyone that has spoken out about him has said nothing but good things. They go, you know what, this guy is fucking amazing. He doesn't deserve all the fucking hate and like awful shit that's coming out about him just because he did some shit in his past that he's not necessarily proud of. But it's also he didn't do anything wrong. That's the big thing.
It's not even anything to be ashamed of. Sounds like it's
the way that I look at it is, and the way that I kind of relate to it is that he's young. He was 18 when he did it, and he's still like in his early 20s. And you have to think about the internet is not is not a nice place, especially Twitter. Twitter especially is a fucking horrid and mean place, and it can be and has been for a very long time.
Our listeners might notice a hole in our list of social medias, that maybe an X-shaped hole.
God, yeah, because it's just such a fucking toxic place, man. And it's one of those things that, because the thing about it is this is why I was saying, like, the first 24 hours, Twitter was the one that like grasped onto it and was like, fuck this guy, we're not fucking with, and like, but then everyone else, all of the fucking normies came out, or like not normies, all of the people who are genuine, and all of the people who aren't like crazy, perpetually on Twitter, like everyone that was like,
that's the bots, dude.
Yeah, all the bots came out, dude. The number of that's a whole other fucking discussion to have.
Yeah.
But the number of people who came out in support of Sketch pretty immediately was so like, I was getting like emotional. You know what I mean? I was like, God damn, this is really beautiful to see. Because
it is. That's a beautiful thing. Like to think that he's been wholesome enough or entertaining enough or just touched enough people that they care enough to even tweet and say, hey, fuck off.
Yeah, or make videos or whatever it is. And everyone says the exact same thing. Like, it does not matter if he's straight or gay or pan or asexual, whatever. He's still Sketch and we still love him. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's still, incredibly entertaining, incredibly funny, and like he's still an incredibly good guy. And it goes to show, like, if you, put yourself out there and you're genuine and you are open about who you are and you're a very genuine and loving and caring person, people are going to show that back to you. You know what I mean? There is going to be that fucking, there's going to be that group of people who prey on your downfall and they want you to fail or whatever. But there's also a very genuine group of people who are really there and they're really rooting for you. Now, the other thing that I want to mention about this whole situation, and this is the part that I think that I want to discuss further with you. Sorry that there was such a long-winded, kind of diatribe about it, but I think it is kind of this is
I
the
feel
more
informed now. I appreciate.
There you go. So now this is the part where I really want to talk about. So in Sketch's response, one of the things that he mentioned is that and I want to watch the response a little bit later because it's really funny how he addresses things. Like he still manages to keep a comedic demeanor to him, but he manages to become serious enough to like address things very personally and get very personal within it. It's only about a 10-minute response, but it's very poignant in how he addresses things. And one of the things that he mentions is that he was in a very dark place when this leaked. When this happened, he was at you know who FaZe Clan is, right?
Yeah.
So he was at the FaZe house. He was hanging out with those guys, and he just left. And when he left, he didn't take any of his stuff. He went straight to the airport, and he said, "You know what, man? I didn't know what I was going to do." He said, "Plan A was to hope and pray that none of this comes out, and Plan B was something that's not, he clearly was not going to be here anymore." Which thankfully he was at the FaZe house and guys like FaZe Banks. I've never been a huge fan of FaZe, but thank God for FaZe Banks. Thank God for friends that are there that will stick up for you, because that was what happened, is that he was like, "Listen, it doesn't matter. None of this shit fucking matters. You're our friend. Come back." And they were there for him and they saved his fucking life. And that's the part that I want to talk about, is having that support system, having the friends, and having people that you can rely on in general to want you here. You know what I mean? Because the thing that I think that we don't see in life until it's too late is how many people we impact within our lives. How many people genuinely want us here, and how many people genuinely want us to be a part of it. And that's something that's really strong and impactful. And I don't think that we discuss that enough,
I think a lot more often than not, our mindset, or not purposely, but we're a little bit self-centered in our mindset. You think about ourselves and we think how other people perceive us based on how we perceive ourselves, and actually how other people view you. What you view yourself as means nothing when someone else sees you. It's so easy to, I think about some people in my life who I might have met casually, even just a couple times, and they're friendly, they're nice, whatever, and I just have a positive opinion of them. Who knows what else they've done? They might be not friendly. They could be homophobic on Twitter. Who knows? But from my brief perception of them, that person was cool. But for some reason, it's easy to get caught in a mindset, particularly when you're experiencing anxiety or depression, to just think that everybody dislikes you. You say, "Hello, how are you today?" And then you walk away and you think, "Oh, that person thinks I'm an idiot." And it's generally not accurate, maybe sometimes, but it's easy to get lost in that sauce, dude. It's so easy to get lost in that sauce. And you either have to be a really strong type of person to just yank yourself out of it somehow. I sure as hell I'm not that person. It always comes down to, calling your friends, your family. You need that support system. and a lot of times it's not even necessarily, I need money or I need, a place to stay or anything. Dude, just talk to me. Just talk to me for a minute, Shit, half the times you and I and our boys were gaming at night on Discord, it's a little bit of that sometimes. You know what I mean? There's always, every single one of us has something going on in our lives.
Yeah, it's
so
definitely,
even though we're gaming and memeing, it's gonna come out. It's gonna, "Oh, dude, you're being kind of quiet, Silas. What's going on with you today?"
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is it's something that I think that we can both appreciate, is that you and I have been friends now for coming up on a decade, right? And
you want to have the discussion about 20 years again, just to make it every episode? Or okay, continue.
We have those grounded friends who know when we're not ourselves. They know when we're not acting in line with what's normal. We can kind of tell, like, "Oh man, you seem kind of off. You seem a little bit more, frustrated or whatever." And we're also the type of people that are willing to say, "Hey man, what's going on?" Because I think the one thing that I think that, especially when I was younger, I didn't relate to was, or the thing that I didn't understand is, how can I open up to people without being a burden or being an inconvenience to them? Which the answer to that is, the answer to that is that you have to understand that you're not a burden, you're not an inconvenience. it's one thing if you're constantly reaching out, constantly like looking for reassurance, and then not seeing the reassurance given to you. That can be involved, like that can be part of like having some form of like insecurities and things like that. But it's another thing to not have that at all, like to not have any form of like of give back or anyone being there for you, right? And
I mean,
so
I think it all just comes down to you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. In
exactly.
99 out of 100 situations, that'll solve your problems. If you think to yourself, if Silas called me tonight and said, "Hey, dude, I'm just having a bad day. Will you talk to me for 5 minutes?" That wouldn't bother me if you did it to me. So I don't think it would bother you.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, that'll get you through most situations, I would think. But
Yeah.
once again, just like I said earlier, if you're in that kind of spiral or that zone, maybe you're having an anxious day, you're a little depressed, whatever, you got a lot going on, it's really easy to feel that way.
Exactly. Exactly. It's easy to the way that I've always seen depression, especially, is that it's sort of a pit, and you're sort of the pit is just has these really high walls, and there's this ladder that you can sort of crawl out of that pit with. But oftentimes when you're in the pit, it's hard to find the ladder. So you're kind of feeling along the walls, and every now and then someone will come with a flashlight, be like, "Hey, it's over here. Let me bring you up out of that." And someone's going to help you. Someone's going to help you out of that pit, right? And having that support system is so important. Having like, and if it's just one person or if it's 100 people or however many people, just having someone there to reassure you that everything's going to be okay, to reassure you like that you're, you're human, and it's okay to feel what you're feeling, and you're not a burden, and you're not being, an inconvenience. And
That's
that's
such a
one of
huge
the
thing for
things.
someone to tell you your feelings are valid. It's okay that you feel this way.
Exactly.
You were wronged, or, this situation sucks. It's okay to feel that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Having that, like, because a lot of it is just like that human connection. Like it's so important. Like I have friends and I have family that, and me personally, I have times where I like to be alone. I like to have that alone time. I like to be able to separate myself from other people and just do my own thing. I've had friends reach out to me like, "Hey, do you want to play something?" "No, not right now. I'm just doing my own thing right now." And that they are completely understanding of that. Right.
Once again, that's a two-way street of being understanding of your
Yep.
boundaries and of theirs. If if it's the inverse and you're reaching out to them.
Yep. Setting boundaries is extremely important. And then understanding, once you've set those boundaries, keeping to them. Because it's very easy to say, you know, I know you said you want me to leave you alone, but like I really, and again, that comes with compromise and
And a
relationships.
personal relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
The relationships in general, friendships in general, communication is key. And that's important with, your friendships, with your work relationships, with your, intimate relationships, any form of like connection with people, communication is key. You need to let people know what the fuck is going on, and you don't have to like, open up and trauma dump on everyone, but giving someone a
There's a
little
big
bit of
difference
insight.
between saying, "I need to use the restroom right now," and "I've got to shit my brains out."
I'm going to be in there
And you
for
can be as
35
polite as that.
minutes.
"I'm experiencing some, I'm having a bad day." You don't have
I'm
to
going to,
say, "My dog died and I'm sad because I lost my shoes."
yeah,
How to lose your shoes. Go ahead.
giving just a bit of insight goes a long way. Giving that hint of like, "Hey man, what you said earlier, I think kind of, is perfect, where it's like, "Hey man, I don't need anything. I just need to talk for a couple minutes. I just need to know that someone's there." Cause I've definitely had those moments of like, fuck, I feel so, and I think a lot of it is contributed to the fact that I have just a really fucked sleep schedule. So there's times where I'm up at like 3 a.m. and no one is awake. And I'm just like, I feel like, 2 or 3 hours ago, maybe I wanted to be alone. And then 3 hours later, I'm afraid that I'm alone. You know what I mean? I'm afraid, like, and it's like a lasting feeling. It's a really,
Huh.
it's something that I can't really, I don't know why it happens. Because listen, I go through my, like my Discord list, or I'll look at my text message or something like, and I know I can't reach out to someone right then and there, but I know I'm not alone. Like I kind of have to like reassure myself. But even then, that reassurance is not enough. There's some times where if you're in your own head and you can't break out of that, you're just gonna be like, well, fuck, I am alone. There's nothing I can do to change that. Um, but the
It's
thing that
that,
I wanted
it's
to,
that dark pit.
yeah, and the thing about it is that, you know, if you let those things sort of build up over enough time, it can be really detrimental to you. And I know that that's something that you wanted to talk about today too, is allowing these things to, because it always starts as those little things. I was just talking today, my girlfriend and I are trying to get a little bit more fit. And the thing that I was talking to her about is,
Oh, get swole.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I'm just trying to lose a little weight. We're both trying to get a little bit healthier. She, for whatever reason, wants me to live a long life with her, whatever. I'm trying to,
Strange.
dude, so lame, dude.
Strange, dude.
Whatever. So,
Let's not get into the whole like women issue here. You know?
God, my girlfriend loving me and shit. Ugh, gross.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah, but no, but just to relate. So we were talking about it, and I was like, it just starts with like little things. It starts with like, whether it's counting calories or getting out and walking, like little things. But that works in an inverse. That works with the opposite, where if you let little bad things build up within you, it's gonna explode at some point in time. So I was curious about what experience you have with that sort of thing.
So I have a friend who recently, he came to me and was just in a real bad spot. Kind of teary-eyed and stuff, really having a rough time. Just going through a lot of things in his life, kind of all at once, multiple things hit that were out of his control. But he's real solid, bounce back. He's actually like chilling with us right now. That's why I've got a computer behind me. So he's got a place. He's bouncing back. He's doing good, but it just seems like a lot of stuff kind of built up over time. A lot of little things, and I'm not gonna delve in his personal stuff like that, but it's just a mountain of little things, and it seems like so many different aspects of things that have built up over time, and just kind of ended up in this volcano eruption in this moment. Which he's over it now. He's good. He's fine. We bro hugged it out. He's good to go. Don't worry about him. But there was another situation similar to that with myself that we've talked about this, how I was diagnosed not a terribly long time ago as having some anxiety. And the reason that I went to the doctor to start that was my wife and I were having some trouble. I was being not so polite at times, but once I started talking to this therapist and really dug into it, you just learn there's 100 things that built up and you don't even know it. You think I'm just angry about this right now, just sad about this right now, XYZ. And I guess things go into like a backlog, a file, your unplayed Steam games back there. But man, it builds up until you have a volcano eruption. That's no good. And then you have to kind of do like a scorched earth tactic to fix something. You got to make a drastic change when that eruption happens that potentially could have been avoided if you could have just started. Just like you said, you got to take that first step, that small step, address one thing with that person or whatever you have going on. You got to address it.
Yep.
I love telling people in a lot of situations, just you're an adult, act like it. If you're feeling pissed off at somebody, you need to say, hey, I'm pissed off because of XYZ. How can we resolve this? Mm-hmm. It doesn't always work. A lot of people are different. Some people are just fucking assholes, of course. But with the people that, hopefully we all surround ourselves with positive people that we can have an adult conversation with. That's probably the key. If you're dealing with a person and they are just an asshole about it, then don't surround yourself with them, right?
Yeah. That's definitely another at-length conversation we could have about picking and choosing who you surround yourself with, which is something that it took me a very long time to figure out, like, how to dictate who is good for your life and who is not, which again, that's a whole other conversation that we can have. But I do agree with you that it starts with a lot of little things that build up. And then addressing it also becomes about handling those little things one by one, right? It can be extremely overwhelming when you have so much piled on you and you have so much going and there's, me especially, I have things go on and in my brain and I think about things and then I overthink about them and then everything starts going and it just like, and a lot of that has to do with my own mental health. But I've
how do you catch yourself? How do you stop it?
Well, that's the thing is like, it's something that I've developed over years. And I'm not saying it's, the thing
because
that
you had to, because that's how it works.
Yeah.
It takes time.
It's one of those things that I'm very fortunate in the sense that I am still here today. I had the support system that I had. I was able to ground myself and find a way to cope with the different things that go on. I have like, for instance, I have both an anxiety and a panic disorder. So finding ways to deal with those,
Brutal.
it sucks, but like you just sort of do it, right? It's really hard. I had the thought the other day that life is just kind of a collection of painful events, but it's yeah, right, which is like such a negative and pessimistic way of thinking things.
Dark poetry over here.
But it's for me, it's been fairly true, where it has been a collection of pretty painful events, but it's the moments of like beauty and love and companionship and all of the positives that are in between those moments of pain or just sadness or whatever it may be. It's those moments that keep me going. It's those moments that really bring me out of it. It's reminiscing and thinking, looking towards the future and being in the present as well, just kind of being in all three spaces and reminding myself, like, one, of a promise that I made, which I will get into a little bit later, and two, of just how like fortunate I am. Like I may not be extremely rich, and I may not be fucking stacked with muscle and have a fucking anyways. It's
Handsome
like,
Squidward.
I'm not perfect. It's something that we ended the podcast with last time. That you and I are both. We're not perfect. We're both humans. But for me, I understand that I have things pretty solid. Like it's not all terrible. There isn't always, it's not always raining every day. Things suck sometimes. Life sucks and then you die is one of those things that I resonate with pretty good. But just because it sucks doesn't mean that there aren't going to be moments of like it being fucking awesome, right? Me, playing games with my friends, me getting to, have time with my girlfriend, me spending time with my family, like those sorts of things keep me going. But it definitely starts with like the little things. It's one of those things that, and I've said this to people before, but mental health is a journey, and taking that first step is always the fucking hardest. It's never gonna get easier. That's the thing too, is like the thing that sucks is it never is going to get any easier, and it's never gonna stop. Like I'm still on my mental health journey. I started when I was like 15. I remember going to a therapist for the first time and being like, why the fuck do I have to go do this? Like, I know I'm sad and shit all the time, but like, why do I have to go?
This is stupid.
This sucks. But the thing about it is like, I've still been on that journey, man. I'm still discovering new things about myself. I'm still figuring things out and learning and adjusting and figuring out coping mechanisms. All of that shit stuff that you just never stop doing. And it sucks. But you got to keep going.
We're literally always on the mental health journey, whether we acknowledge it or know it or not.
Exactly.
And I think there's definitely some people who have never put any thought in that mental health journey. Potentially some older people out there,
Yeah.
It's rough. They explode, or they just are not friendly people. You don't want to be around them.
Yeah.
Man, if I could give a shout out just to the whole nod of like support systems, somebody to give you that ladder when you're in the hole. Man, my biggest example of that is my dad. Back in 2017, this is something that might come up at some point, but 2017 was a fucking rough year for me in my life. And I had reached a point where I legit probably spent like a month in bed, not doing shit. I needed to get a job and I wasn't, man. My rent was due. I didn't even have a plan. I was in that depression hole. And there was a lot of events that led to that. And one day my dad called me, and I couldn't tell you the exact words, but I do remember the gist of it was, just get off your fucking ass. He's like, I love you. You're going to take care of yourself. Get the fuck up. Get out there and do what you got to do. Maybe those words, that way I've said it wasn't as poignant. But then again, my dad's a big redneck, so that could have been word for word, actually. But man, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just kind of something we said last episode, was when somebody who you look up to and respect a lot gives you these words, they tend to mean a little more. And whatever he said in that moment, man, that lit a fire under my ass like I don't think I've ever had. And man, I was like employed, and I had 2 jobs within like a couple of months of that, man, and just started kicking ass and literally turned my life around.
Yeah.
And has been nothing but, mostly uphill ever since.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, dude, shout out to my dad.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to your mom, and shout out to my dad, and shout out to your brother. He's got good taste in music.
Oh my God. Yeah. You and my brother have been going. Well, the funny thing is like, I was telling you, I was like, man, just fucking message him. Like, I don't know why you had to, because I've been like the courier sending like screenshots of the messages that you've been
You're a
sending me
little
back and
carrier
forth.
pigeon.
Jesus Christ. Going back to the topic of having that person in your life, you know, that person for me now is my mom. Where you know my dad too, like both my parents. I have a really solid support system within my parents. But the funny thing is, you know, I talked to my mom. I talked to her yesterday, of course, it was my birthday. She called me, but I talked to her a couple days before that. And one of the things that we mentioned is that you know, 5 years ago, I dreaded calling my mom. I dreaded having to talk to her. Yeah, I because we just were in a place. You know, I'm not going to go too into it, but we were just in a place where we just didn't have a very good, you know, relationship. It was, we were civil with each other, but it was also, we weren't very civil with each other at times.
You weren't talking to each other like adults.
Yeah, yeah, really. And we were, you know, and it was one of those things that I'm really glad that we put forth the time. The same sort of thing kind of happened with my dad, where there were times, you know, I lived with my dad when I was younger, still live with him now, but the thing about it is that we went a really long time where we just didn't fucking have healthy conversations. We didn't have productive conversations, and it took a lot of emotional maturity that I needed to kind of gain within myself to be able to look at things from a perspective of that goes beyond like fuck you. You know what I mean? Like I had to be able to like, okay, let's sit down and talk about our problems. Let's actually discuss why I feel this way. And because of that, I've been able to have incredible like relationships with my parents now where I look forward to talking to my mom on the phone and we talk for like fucking hour and a half, just sitting there
Damn.
shooting the shit. Yeah, dude, like we fucking talk. You know, and my dad, fuck, same thing where we'll sit down. I'll be like, yeah, I was just shooting the shit with my dad. And like, to be able to say that now is a really impactful thing. Cause growing up, man, like there were times I was like, I don't want to fucking see your face. Right.
Dude, same.
Ugh.
I almost very similar with my dad. He did his best, but he was kind of in and out of my life when he was younger, and he was kind of a fucking asshole. He'd even tell you this. He was a fucking asshole when I was a teenager. Now, to be fair, I was a little shithead teenager and doing a bunch of stupid stuff, but man, we did not get along. Same
Yeah.
thing. I hate my dad.
Fucking asshole.
But then, you know, my son was born, and immediately, you know, my dad, he was so excited to be a grandpa. So he's being
yeah.
real friendly to me and stuff. And then, you know, as time goes on, I'm growing, I'm learning, maturing, and started seeing things like, man, being a father's tough. I need to talk to my dad.
Look at
And
some-
then it's just been this thing where we've had just the best relationship for
Oh yeah.
I don't know how many years now.
That's good. It's funny how, you know, what is that? What is that thing that people say? It's like you watch yourself grow up to be your parents or something like that. Where and it's not necessarily true in all cases. There's definitely times when like I think if I were to be a parent tomorrow, there's a lot of things I'd do differently for my child. Knock on fucking wood. Holy shit. But but I'm just saying if for whatever, you know, reason, if I had a kid, I think that there would definitely be aspects of my parents that I would take, but there'd be aspects of myself that I've learned just through my own life experience, which is, you know,
That's what I think every parent does. That's what I've done. There's some things of my dad that I thought were so fantastic growing up that I had such respect for that I try to emulate. And the other parts we don't delve into that.
yeah. But it's just, I don't know. It's interesting to look at that. And it's interesting to look back at, the impacts that these people have had in our lives. You know, they're just fucking humans with, you know, what is it?
Man, I'm so glad you said it's such a shift in perspective. I walked outside at work for a smoke break and was walking back inside down the sidewalk, and I couldn't tell you why this thought came to my mind. Just thinking, my dad was, you know, in my shoes. Like I was thinking about my son is what led to it, and like some shit he's been doing. I'm like, man, my dad went through this just like I did. I'm gonna call him after work today.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the things. So my brother, my older brother, not the one who has the same taste in music, but my other older brother. I have multiple siblings. That'll be a whole other discussion for another time. But my oldest brother, I should say, that's one of the things that, as I got older, we were able to discover about each other is that we kind of had the same sort of a similar life path where, and we never got to discuss it until I was an adult because we have a pretty big age gap. I think he's 14 or 16 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big age gap. But it was one of those things that when we finally like sat down and like, you know, got to really like discuss things, we realized like, holy shit, we're not necessarily that we're the same person, but we have a lot in common. We've been through a lot of the same life experiences, and I've been
So
able to have.
you and your brother had similar life experiences?
Yeah, weirdly enough, and
That is
it's
kind of weird.
it's mostly in the sense of like, it's like in the sense of, well, because you don't think about that, like you don't think about.
I know what you're
He's
saying.
he's so much older than me, and I've always looked up to him, and he's always been that like rock in my life that he said one of the most incredibly impactful things that completely changed the way that I look at life, which was no matter where you go, there you are, which essentially boils down to, if you don't, like, no matter what you do and no matter where you travel, or no matter what you try and change in your life, if you don't attack your problems, if you don't try and solve and figure things out, nothing is ever going to change. You're still going to be the exact same person. And that to me was like, what the fuck? The light bulb went on. I was like, holy shit, that makes so much sense. Why did I never think of that? But I think just like your dad, said, hey, get the fuck off your ass. Let's do this. You got this. I love you. I'm here for you, but you got to do this shit. That sort of, just those words, it's the right thing said at the right time, and it can
By the right
really,
person.
yeah, by the right person, exactly, by the person you need to hear it from the most. And it's one of those things, man, that it's something that I think we don't appreciate often enough. We kind of travel through this fucking weird journey of life,
We
and
zoom through life and we take those things for granted. Those
exactly,
little moments, man. You talk about when you look back on your life and you think about just all the moments of pain. For some reason, it's so much easier to remember when I got dumped and when this happened,
yep,
when so and so died, whatever. And those other thoughts that you're just talking about don't come to your mind. The
yeah,
time my dad loved me enough to kick me in the ass and get me moving again.
yep.
You know,
And those are the things that, for me at least, you were just talking about how, what do you do to sort of get out of that hole? That's what I do, is I think about, all the shit that has been positive, all the shit that's been really good.
you gotta
Now,
take inventory, count your blessings, as they
yes,
say.
yep. And the thing about it is it's not so black and white. You can't just, you can't just be like, oh well, here's a list of all the good things. Now I'm happy again. It doesn't work like that. You have to find those moments that were really impactful, that really help you kind of make you want to stay here. Going back to what we talked about way earlier, when Sketch was talking about wanting to, not be here anymore, I'm very well aware of what that feeling is like. I have been there multiple times, right? I was fortunate enough to have the stability and have the people that were willing to look out for me and say, hey, we want you here. And luckily, I failed. And the times that I tried, I sucked at it. Thank God. Thank whoever. I was really bad at it. I'm very thankful for that. I'm very thankful that I'm still here. I'm not a huge, religious person, but I think whatever power kept me here, I'm very thankful for that. But the one thing that I figured out a long time ago, and this is something that I wanted to share with you, because I don't know if I've actually told this to you. The one thing that I figured out, and the one promise that I made to myself, is that no matter what, no matter how shit it gets, no matter, what I go through, no matter how horrible it is, I'm going to see this shit out to the end, right? I'm going to wait until I die of heart disease at 45, right? Like, I'm going to be here.
45.
That's what I tell Haley all the time. Like, I'm
You're
going
like
out.
extra salt on them fries.
Yeah, let me just dip this in ranch, right? No, but in all seriousness, I'm going to be here until the end. I'm going to see this shit, because here's the thing is, like, I've seen really low lows. I don't know if I'd say I've seen the lowest of my lows, because making that assumption is just foolish. But I've seen really low lows, and I've made it out of that. And because I know I can make it out of that, I want to see it to the end. I want to be an old cyborg.
That's everything we say plays together. It's beautiful. That's back to my 2017, and once I started pulling myself out of that, and even to this day, I can look back at the journey since then. And I feel a little bit fearless about some things, like, bring it on, because I already made it through all that. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? I don't want to dig all into that right now, but I mean, basically, like, lost everything and restarted my whole life in
Yeah.
2017, and here we are, baby. Fucking bring it on.
There you go. Easy clap. W Mouse
Easy.
one.
GG, no re.
Let's go. God, yeah. But so that was yeah. I think that's oh man. Yeah. We got this. We fucking got
These
this.
we do. We
Yeah.
do. And
Let's
then when this podcast fails, we'll start another one. And then
yeah.
another one.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Time well bent.
Time well bent.
The
Dude, we can
spin-off.
come up with them.
Let's go, baby.
And then when that starts, when we run out of those, we switch it to like time hell bent.
Time hell bent.
Actually, that might be
That's a pretty good one.
the last episode of Time Well Meant, guys. We'll see y'all
All
somewhere
right,
else.
so we'll see you next time. First episode of Time Hell Bent is be in 2 weeks. Jesus Christ. Oh man. But yeah. Anyways, I want to shift gears just a little bit.
Yeah, we have been
We-
pretty heavy here,
we've been
folks.
pretty heavy.
Sorry about it, but
Let's,
it's important. It is important.
It is extremely
Just-
important. Yeah.
It's important to talk to somebody.
Yes.
Love yourself.
Exactly. Reach out, and here's the thing. I think I'll wrap up with this in the sense that you're not alone. There's always somebody. There's so many resources out there. I'll try and remember to post some stuff in the description below. But there's so many resources. Reach out, look for something. Don't give up. Like there is reason for you to be here, and if nothing else, understand that we want you to be here. Like
Yeah, we do.
as parasocial as that might sound, we want you to fucking be here. Anyways. But so moving on, I wanted to just touch very briefly. I figured we'd talk a little bit about gaming. Have you heard anything about Apex recently and what's going on with that?
Apex Legends, no? What's up? New season, right?
New season. Well, guess what they decided to change. So let me give a little backstory. In the past, you had Apex coins, and Apex coins could be either earned through the battle pass or you could buy them with real money, right? They've changed it now. You no longer buy the battle pass with coins. You just buy it with money outright. And so Apex does this thing where they do splits. That's the first change that they made, was that you can no longer earn any sort of coins or any sort of way to buy the battle pass. You have to buy it with money.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm following.
Yes. The other thing that they changed, and I don't know if this is a recent change or if this has already been done before, is Apex has seasonal splits, okay? So let's say the first split is 45 days and the other split is 45 days, right? And that happens with the rank season, where they do a rank split, right? Cool in concept, and it works kind of, not really.
Does that mean they reset it after 45
They
days?
do
and start
it
again?
They do a soft reset. They don't do a hard reset, but they basically will, like, if you finished at like let's say Diamond 3 is the highest, they'll put you back down to Diamond 1, right? Or they'll put you at like Plat 4, and then you go up from there, right? And it's just to readjust ranks. It's just kind of reset, like a soft reset. It doesn't hard reset you, but it does a bit of a reset. I don't know the why they do that or what that benefits. Anyways, so Apex decided that they're going to split their battle pass up. So they have 2 battle passes for each split. So they have 1 battle pass in the first split and 1 battle pass in the second split. Each of them costing $10, basically meaning you have to spend $20 on top of that. Okay, so if you're going to spend $20 to get both battle passes, that's one thing. On top of that, they have Premium Plus Battle Pass, which is an extra $10. Yeah. Which is an extra $10 that you have to spend to get the premium version of the Battle Pass, which then skips you a number of levels, and I think it gives you other benefits. I'm not 100%. Like, what in the fuck? Okay.
Dude, we've been complaining about battle passes in gaming for years, and now we're reaching. Dude, we need the exhibit meme. Yo, dog, heard you like battle pass and your battle pass.
It's so insane.
What
to me.
the fuck, dude?
Yes. I don't know why. And here's the thing. I'm not a huge
You do know
Apex
why.
Legends fan.
Money.
Okay, yeah. But I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. I don't know why they think that, because the entire player base is fucking super pissed, rightfully so, right?
You say that, but half of them are still going to buy it.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
And then more will buy it next split.
Yep.
It's always a big thing in these gaming spheres to say vote with your wallet, but I'm guilty of pre-ordering shit too that I regretted. Fallout 76, but man,
it's a
Fuck.
very sad thing to see.
Who
I
owns
hate to see
Apex?
it.
Is that's EA, right?
It's EA,
Kind
but
of tracks though.
yeah, but it's also Respawn, and Respawn is the company that made
Did
Titanfall,
Titanfall?
which
Oh,
still
yeah, we love
waiting. We're
Titanfall.
we're never gonna get Titanfall 3. I think it's already been kind of confirmed that never gonna happen. Never ever gonna happen. Sadly, I really want it,
Do they know
but
that they can put triple battle pass into one split if they make Titanfall 3 and they can play it on the 3 like the 3 pass you buy all 3? Shit, we
uh,
do cut that. We cannot EA will steal this. Cut that from the internet.
we can't give them such evil ideas. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it sets a really bad precedent in gaming where, because the thing about it is like Overwatch, even Overwatch, that's how when Overwatch 2 came out with their battle pass, even they had that's the model that they had initially, which is you can only buy the battle pass. And you know what they've done? Switched it back to where now you can earn coins to buy the battle pass. Like clearly it doesn't fucking work. Or like
There's somebody in marketing or research at that company who is saying we can make this stupid decision and we're only going to lose 10% of players, so it's fine. Like it
exactly.
all comes down to that shit, dude.
Yeah. It's very sad that gaming is in a place now where we are seen as numbers. We're seen as just like, we're seen as numbers and dollar signs. I still think that to this day, the best game that does a battle pass right is Helldivers, where you can literally just earn everything by playing the fucking game. You don't
That's
have
how
to
it used to
fucking,
be.
yeah.
When battle passes were first being introduced into our gaming ecosystem,
Mhm.
that's how it always was. It was an additional thing, and it was at first cosmetics, and now it's
Yep.
level boosts
Yep.
and double XPs and
Yep. And
just
here's the thing:
everything to
is like
squeeze a
if you
penny.
want, you can pay and you can get ahead and you can get the battle pass. But if you just want to play the game, you can do that. And the other one is Deep Rock Galactic. Deep Rock Galactic puts out a battle pass. Was it every couple of months? But they don't make you fucking pay for it at all. You just earn it. You just get it. They just release new content. You can buy an extra. They have a supporters bundle that you can buy. But that's all they do. That's
And I bet
completely.
when
It's
you
not
treat your
mandatory.
fans right and you don't just wring them dry,
Mm-hmm.
people are probably more willing to click that support button and buy the pack just to
Yep.
support. I've done it with games that I loved, and I was like, hell, Rocket League. I've spent over 3,000 hours in Rocket League, and I originally paid $20 for that game back in 2015. And I didn't feel bad at all when I was, buying the keys the way they used to do them back in the
Yeah.
day. If anything, I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting so much money out of this, and this thing's cool. I want to support Psionics at the time.
Yeah.
And then since it just switched to Epic Games, I think I've spent exactly $5 on Rocket League.
Yep. I think I had like a thousand free like premium of the premium currency, and I spent 600 of that. But like I have not put a single fucking dollar. Destiny is a whole other thing. I have an addiction. Destiny is a whole other thing.
Do you?
I have a very bad addiction. I've definitely spent some money on Destiny, but I'm really bad about um, if I like cosmetics, especially because I want to look pretty, I want to look cool, I want to look fancy, like I want to just look badass. Um, and so I'm really bad about like I like cosmetics, so I'm a real sucker for that sort of shit. I thankfully have broken my streak of I used to every season with Overwatch. I needed the cosmetics. I needed something that was there. I need like if it was new, I needed to have it. And that's no longer the case. I don't give a fuck anymore. I see some of the new skins. I'm like, that looks cool. Like they just came out with a Transformers pack. I don't give a fuck.
Unless you have an exorbitant amount of expendable income, that is the absolute worst mindset you could ever have in these freemium games.
Yeah.
Or even just games, because Overwatch, the original Overwatch was a paid game, but it had those
Yeah.
cosmetics and people would pay for them all.
Yeah.
And unless you're the type of person that has that expendable income, you're going to go bankrupt trying because they're just going to keep releasing new ones, bud.
Yeah. And it's
And
yeah.
then you get a
It's
$500 League of Legends skin. And then you look down on your life in despair. We don't actually know anybody who did
we
that.
don't know
Nobody
anybody
that we
who
know
would
is
buy a
that
$500
stupid.
League of Legends skin. Oh fuck. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah. So that's that. I hate it. I
When
really
was the last
hope
time you played Apex? Why does this?
it's
Was
just
this
one of
just
those things that
news?
I just notice.
Ah,
It's I like to keep up with news of games that I have played, and games that I'm thinking about playing and things like that. And I'm just in that a lot of the algorithms that fucking attack me constantly.
That's awesome. I never thought about the way the algorithm attacks me. This is what I see.
This is what I'm being shown. The way that the algorithm is shown to me, whatever. It's just one of those things that I used to be really heavy into Apex and getting videos like that. Now I get them every now and then, and that's the big kind of topic that's being discussed right now.
This is a big current headline.
Yeah. The other one that I'm seeing right now is I've been really, of course, trying to, be a little healthier. I've been looking at like cooking and fitness, like TikTok, and I'm now like I'm far enough into that genre that I'm starting to see the drama, like people talking about like. Yeah, there's like really.
You're such a drama queen.
I am such a drama
You're like,
queen.
now I'm in the fitness world.
Now
what
I'm
drama's
here?
here?
Well, right now there's people arguing. Well, and it's really funny because it's honestly really interesting. It's the way that I could describe it is it's like two people basically arguing science at each other. And listing facts and kind of and don't get me wrong, there are some people who are just like blatantly lying about shit just for like fear, like baiting people with fear, and then also like just trying to like spread false misinformation to further their own agenda, right? Or to sell a product or whatever. But there are people who genuinely will like fight with each other about like the video that I watched recently was it's these two guys and they're talking about this protein bar and how it's made. And it's supposed to be this like carnivore protein bar that's made of like beef and tallow. And it's like $16. And it's these two people arguing back and forth about justifying the price, talking about the macro and micronutrients, like talking about how it's made and like the way that the ingredients are sourced. And to me, that's really, really funny, but also really interesting. And I don't know, it's just tickles something in my brain. I don't know what it is, man.
You just like to see two people disagree and you don't care over what.
Well, that's the thing too, is like I hate conflict. I don't like fighting with anybody, like friends, anybody.
But you are the Michael Jackson meme with your popcorn.
I am. I want to see it all. I want to have a front row seat. It's why I think that. So I know that when we do episode 5, you're going to talk about
something
musician.
Very special coming.
Yes, you're talking about. We're going to do a deep dive into some stuff. But the one when it's my turn, I'm more than likely going to talk about niche internet drama. Like there's this other lady I want to talk about who every time I see her on my For You page on TikTok, she's just fucking eating. But she pulls out this huge bottle of Hennessey that she's clearly been working through. And like she's known as the Henny Queen of TikTok. It's this Korean woman.
The Henny Queen.
The Henny Queen of TikTok.
She's got to put that on her headstone.
It has to be. Like holy shit. And that's the thing. I
would write that in my will.
You could go onto TikTok right now and do Henny Queen of TikTok, and she's gonna pop the fuck up. I guarantee it. I'm not even joking. And she's going to pop up. And she's fucking awesome, man.
What is she talking about?
Nothing. She just sits there and eats and drinks Henny. What are you talking about? She's talking about shit.
Wait, is this live or are these TikToks?
No, they're TikToks. This is her whole shtick. She makes food or she orders food and she eats it and she drinks Henny the whole time. And she gets thousands of views and thousands of hundreds of thousands of likes.
These are 60-second TikToks.
Sometimes they're shorter, sometimes they're longer. Yeah.
Of her just like Domino's pizza and a swill off the bottle, I imagine.
No. She's refined about it. She has a nice glass or a mug. She's drinking out of some sort of container with ice. She's fucking.
Excuse me, I'm not putting respect on the Henny Queen.
Oh yeah, put fucking respect on Henny Queen's name. She's sipping that shit. Okay, she's not just
out.
Dude, just like a lady. You know what I mean? Put some fucking respect on Henny Queen's name. I don't know her real name, but
right now we don't know her real name, but you put respect on it.
Put respect. Well, she's the Queen of Henny. That's all you really need to know about her.
Honestly, I would delete the rest of my name, change my legal name.
First name Queen, last name Henny.
Beautiful. Okay, so I gotta go look that up.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm really dying to know what this note is you put about PB crisps.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
This is okay. So, in my youth and in my childhood, this is something. This is extremely nostalgic for me. I'm really glad. I completely forgot about this. I'm really glad you reminded me. in my youth and when I was younger, I remember there's certain things, they talk about like the Mandela effect of like how things have changed over time, and like, I don't remember the Bernstein Bears being the Berenstein Bears or whatever. Anyways, there's just shit that you kind of remember being really fucking awesome or really really cool or whatever. There's there's this snack called PB crisps, okay, peanut butter crisps, which were these planters shaped peanuts that had like a crunchy outside and a peanut butter. It was like Reese's, but in peanut shape. Okay. And they were like crunchy on the outside. This is how I'm describing how I remember them. I don't know if this is exactly how it was. These were the best things. I don't remember any snack being better. Okay. I don't remember any snack being so incredible. And they discontinued them. And I was just scrolling through TikTok one day, and it was, I get one of the other things that I get on my TikTok is nostalgia trips, because I'm a 90s, we're both 90s kids. And that's one of those things that, like, holy shit, thinking about all the shit that we used to have and like how our entertainment has changed and stuff like that is always really interesting to look back on. Well, motherfucking PB Chris, man, that's so crazy. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It was just fine. Like, I was scrolling through because it's like a slideshow, and I was scrolling through, and when I saw it, like, my brain like melted. I was like, oh my God, because it was something that I remembered it. And I knew about it, and I was always like, man, I don't remember what those were called or what those were. And every now and then I'll go to the store and be like, I'm just gonna look and like see, maybe this is what, and I thought it was those those like pretzel bites that have the peanut butter inside.
Maybe
You can buy them like the cheese puffs, or you can buy them in the big, giant plastic containers. And I thought it was those for a long time, and I was like, this is not it. This is not nearly as good. No, it's motherfucking peanut butter crisps, man, and it is. Planters, this is a direct message to you. Bring back those fucking peanut butter crisps now, please.
And if you do that, we will allow you to sponsor the show.
We will. we will give you the courtesy of being the first sponsor for Time Well Meant. Okay,
but not without motherfucking peanut butter crisps.
Goddamn right. And I wrote that in our little discussion thing, and I wrote it in all caps so I'd remember.
And you spelled it with like 6 S's and P's.
Yeah. It's an important aspect.
You really
of my
put
life.
the respect on the peanut butter crisps.
Yeah. The other things that I want to talk about are too long-winded, I think. But it's just, oh man, there's certain things in life that I look back on and go, man, bring me back, take me back to that. Take me back to the time when I had a whole container of peanut butter crisps.
It was when I was in middle school. There was Dr. Pepper Red Fusion. It was like kind of like Mountain Dew Code Red, but Dr. Pepper. And it was red.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I loved it. I'd drink the shit out of it. I'd probably be so fat if they hadn't discontinued that drink in hindsight. But Dr. Pepper Company, there's Dr. Pepper Company. Yeah. Whoever owns you, whatever, bring it back. Dr. Pepper Red Fusion. And we'll allow you to sponsor the show. We'll extend this offer to multiple companies.
Yes. We have, on the next episode of Time Well Meant, we're going to go over the laundry list of companies that we have demands for. And if you meet our demands, we will allow you to sponsor us.
We will allow you the honor of
the privilege of sponsoring our pristine podcast. God damn. What a fucking, oh my God. If only it worked like that, that'd be sick. I would listen. What are you willing to?
You gotta
give
get to like
Mr.
Beast status before you can make demands like that.
True. I was gonna say, what are you willing to give up to have Dr. Pepper Red Fusion back in your life?
Oh, I don't know.
You can't. Okay, what you?
Everything I'm thinking of is like too good. I'm like, I mean, you couldn't get rid of balls. By which I mean male balls. No, I'm just kidding. The drink. Can't get rid of the drink. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Next time on Time Well Met, we'll talk about what I already know. I'm willing to have a child to then give that child up as my firstborn as a sacrifice.
That doesn't count. You literally don't want that child to begin with. You were knocking on wood earlier, saying, "Please don't."
Again. Yeah. You're right. That's true. That's kind of cheating at that point, because I'm like, I don't I don't want a kid, but I do want peanut butter crisps. Oh shit.
That's really, I mean, that might be the message to end it on, dude.
That might, yeah. I think that's, listen, find something in life that you're willing to give up everything for and hyperfixate on it until you get it. Just kidding. Don't do that. Please, God.
Yeah,
but
don't do that.
Yeah, no. But, you know.
But bring back peanut butter crisps.
Bring back peanut butter crisps. Remember, you're not alone. We love you. Join us. We expect to see, you know what? We expect to see you here next fucking week. So, well, I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know if you're not here.
Not next week. Week after next. Whatever. Every 2 weeks. Sorry. Whatever it is. Oh God. Anyways, I want to. Yeah, I think that's a good one to end on. You know, I'd love to fucking just keep going. I want to keep talking about peanut butter crisps. And I would love to just spend more time with y'all. But I think that was time well meant. I have been dialed in to this drama.
Haktua.